I'm going to do a proper water test on the pond. I have the little test strips. They're so easy to use, but I don't really think they're that accurate. So I'm gonna use my actual API set, and we're gonna see what the parameters are. All right, so I did the ammonia one, and let's see. So the ammonia one is looking not too bad. Looks like it's pretty much zero, maybe a little bit. I just did it, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of time and we'll see what that one says. I only have 3 of the glass vials. The other 2 eventually broke. So I'll do ammonia right now, and then I'll do nitrate and nitrite, and we'll see what happens. And then I'll do pH afterwards. So it's looking like, let's see here if I can stand that up. It's looking pretty good on ammonia. I mean, that's looking pretty yellow to me. So there's a slight tinge of green. So ammonia is between 0 and 0.25 parts per million. So it does look like there's some nitrites in there. Not a lot, but there's some. So this water is not amazing right now. So I am not a water expert, that is for sure. So there definitely is a little bit of ammonia. I think I'm gonna do a half water change on the pond. So there is some ammonia there, and nitrites is not that great either. So on nitrite, it looks like, I don't know, it's somewhere like 0.25 parts per million, similar to the ammonia, I would say. I'm gonna do the nitrate test, which is by far the most annoying to do on here, and we'll see what that one shows. All right, so the ammonia, it's had time to sit and rest, or whatever you want to call it, but I would say it's 0.25 parts per million. So there's a little bit of ammonia in there. There's not a ton, but it should be 0. So that is a fail. The nitrite is pretty high, and I'm not liking that either, because that should be 0. So the nitrite is probably half a part per million, or somewhere in that range. So, or maybe even more. So that's not ideal. That should be 0. So that's a fail also. And here's the nitrate. So nitrate is somewhere in there in 10, 20 parts per million. It's hard to tell. Maybe 30-ish. So that wouldn't be the worst thing ever, but that's telling me the pond's not cycled, and it's been running since April 1st. So it's been 2.5 months. It's not quite cycled. So that is not ideal. So that is what I'm up against right now. I'll check the pH, but it doesn't really matter because none of the rest is cycled. So let me check the pH quick. All right, so looks like, so I did a regular pH test and it was way down towards the bottom. So then I did a high range test and it's probably like 8. So the pH is probably at like 8. And then nitrate's been sitting for 5 minutes now, and that one is probably somewhere around that 30-ish range, or somewhere, I would say. So this pond is just not cycled all the way. So I need to get this thing cycled. So that is my official water test for the pond right now. All right, so I am doing about a 50 to 60% water change right now on the pond to try and help it to get cycled a little quicker. The nitrites are high. Nitrates a little high, but nitrites definitely high. And then ammonia, there's a little bit, not too much, but a little bit of ammonia. So after that API test kit, I'm just gonna take out about half the water, I'd say, So I'm pumping it out right now and feeding the trees. So once I do that, I'm gonna do a total of about 20 gallons of cycled tank water out of the 180 gallon aquarium. And I'm gonna put that along with some new fresh water in here. So that should definitely help this pond out. So I will revisit the video after all that. So the pond is drained pretty far down right now. I'm gonna go a little lower. It's pretty much down to the main body of water now. So I've taken out quite a bit of water. Like I said, it's probably gonna be about 50–60%, somewhere around there. And then I'm gonna put in about 15–20 gallons of already cycled water out of the 180 gallon aquarium, and then fill the rest up. Of course, that's not gonna dent it much, but it'll give it a bunch of beneficial bacteria. And then I'm gonna refill it with, obviously dechlorinated tap water. I have to do it out of the hose. And then hopefully those levels will be way better and then on their way to being fully cycled. So that is where I am at. All right, the pond is now refilled again. And I did actually put the fountain back up because I need maximum aeration. So now I actually have a bubbler or aerator over there. And I also have one running on this side too. And I have the waterfall, and then I have the fountain. So I am hoping that all of that, plus the tank water I put in here, plus the 60% water change, will get this thing on its way to being cycled. So time will tell. Should be good. All right, so good news to report. So after the roughly 50 or 60% water change, and then like I said, I added tank water in there, and I have all the aeration in there now. I have the waterfall, the fountain, and then 2 aerators going. These are my levels right now. So did this earlier today, and now I just checked it again, and this is looking so much better now. So it looks like I am at 0 on the ammonia right now, or very, very close to 0. Not exactly at 0. Let's see here. But really, really close. So there's just a little bit in there right now of ammonia, but that will get to 0. And then for nitrites, we're definitely lower than I was before. So I would say it halved the level of nitrites in there. So hopefully that continues. And